Hello guys, welcome to a new video. I was thinking this week we could try out Allison Dawrant's reticulated pattern technique with some different materials like acrylic inks, high flow acrylics, fluid acrylics, and actual acrylic paint. So the reticulated pattern, I don't have a picture of what it looks like, but basically it's this really cool kind of flowing pattern. And you think of the way that tree branches, like each branch shoots off of a bigger tree branch, like that pattern of branches and how they kind of go out like veins, or like your nervous system in your body and everything, that kind of pattern. And it's really beautiful. And so Allison did a video on how to do it, and so I thought, why not give it a try? And this is my first time trying it. So let's see, what do we want to do first? So I'm gonna have to go with my hot pink. Oh, and I have a bunch of dusty postcard papers here that they're flashcard papers that I got off of Amazon, and these aren't coated, these are uncoated. So I hope they work out well. And I have a whole bunch, like I have more, so if we get really into it and I use all these, I can just grab more. So I'm gonna try a variety of media, because I have this idea where I wanna do an abstracted floral painting on this canvas. And I think this is an Arteza canvas that I got. And yeah, so I wanna try maybe collaging, if I do a nice flower shape here, and then collaging it onto here later. That's what I'd like to do. So anyway, oh, and apologies if you can hear cars or my fridge making noise, or the people upstairs. They're kind of all making noise at the same time, so it's all good though. As long as you can hear me, that's what's important. I'm also looking into getting a mic for my phone. Not anytime soon. I'm gonna have to save a little bit to do that, but I'd like to get a mic so that my voice is a little clearer, because I noticed, especially when I'm recording voiceovers, my voice is very low, and I think I have kind of a low voice anyway. So yeah. Okay, so I've got some pink. Now I'm gonna put some of this acrylic wash. And let's try some fluid acrylics. And I think I need a green, so, and I want to place it next to this nickel azo yellow, because I think they'll look really nice together. Now this might be too much paint for this small surface, I'm not sure. If I can get this cap on, geez. Okay. And I'm gonna add a little bit of orange. All right. Now, it depends on what materials you use, whether or not you get a really good reticulated pattern. Sorry, now there's sirens, of course, right while I'm filming, but oh well, that's life. Anyway, so it depends what patterns, what materials you're using if you'll get a good pattern, because when she showed the technique, it really depended on the material. So this is all trial and error. So you place another piece of paper over top and you press it down. And she said paint can come out the edges, but I don't really mind because I have a painty backdrop anyway. Oh, that's so pretty. Okay, so what you see here, and I'll try and zoom in if I can in my editing software, this is the reticulated pattern right here that looks kind of like veins or tree branches. That's so beautiful. So it worked really well with the fluid acrylic, is that the fluid? Yeah, with the fluid acrylic. It didn't work very well with this acrylic ink. And it worked a little bit with the acrylic wash. So that's cool. That's cool. So yeah, very cool. That's so pretty. Wow. Okay, so I'm gonna set one of these aside and I'm gonna add something to this one. Let's see. Now I don't have many of these. This was the one that worked the best, the fluid acrylic, and I don't have many of these. I have 2 of them. So I don't have many colors to play with. I'll try this, the high flow. Let's see what happens if we add that. I gotta wipe off the top of this. So let's take a new paper and see what happens. I have no idea if this will work well with the reticulated pattern, but it might just look pretty, who knows. So I want to get a good print. Hopefully I do. Oh, that worked so beautifully. Okay, so the high flow acrylics work really beautifully. Wow. I also don't have a whole lot of those either. I only have 2 of those, but I think with this, with all these different colors, I can make something happen. It is so pretty. I could see that. I could see this being like a nice purple flower and petals and loveliness. Wow. Allison was right. This can definitely get addictive. I just have to find room for all these to dry. And so yeah, so my idea would be to cut out the shape and then glue it onto the canvas, maybe on top of a painted background, and that could be a flower. I might do that with this one, but I gotta create more. Who knows what I'll make? So you never know if you'll create something even more inspiring. Okay, so let's try the heavy body paint. So now instead of using this one, which didn't do the reticulated pattern very well, I'm gonna use another neon pink in the heavy body to see how that does. So there we go. And I'm not gonna use any blues for this one because I really wanna get a pinky kind of flower. There we go. And maybe I'll try the Liquitex orange this time. And I'm going to do some more of this nickel azo yellow. Okay, maybe a little bit of this teal. And I'll put that with the nickel azo yellow. Oh, okay. It's coming up with a little bit of a crust right there. Okay. And I want green, but I want to use a different green. I have this green. I have to use the pliers. I always think I don't put these on very tight, but apparently I do. Okay. then for good measure, let's put a little bit of this pink one on. Oh, I need to shake it. Maybe a little bit. Oh, I feel like I didn't shake it enough. Try that again. It's kind of a big blob. Oh well. Then I just want to add a little bit of this magenta. So that's quite a pretty color combo. All right, let's see what happens. So I'm just pressing down over the whole sheet. It's leaking a little. That's a-okay. All right, let's find out what it looks like. Oh, wow. That is so pretty. And you can really see the reticulated pattern all throughout here. And up here, and a little bit over here. That's beautiful. My pink definitely did not mix, so I might have to use a skewer and mix it, which I think I'll do right now. These are gonna be so fantastic for collage. And I think I used all my papers, so I'm gonna grab some more. Okay, I have a new stack of papers. I think I want to try some different colors now. So I'll go with the vermilion. And maybe some of this Naples yellow. And let's see what other colors I have. I have these 3 greens, which could be pretty together. But I think I want a different medium, maybe this purple, yeah. Okay. Let's do some fluorescent red. And how about this phthalocyanine green blue shade? I still feel like I need another color. Okay, let's go for this mint, pale mint. All right, let's do it. Oops, I got a little smushed. Oh, it's leaking out of, the green is leaking out of one side. All right, moment of truth. Oh, that's so pretty. I really love this one right here. It looks like a leaf. Wow, I love it. It's so organic looking. So pretty. And I like this cooler blue, or sorry, cooler green with it, because I've been using a warmer green right here. So it's nice to see the cooler green. It's really beautiful. It also kind of looks like, what are they called? Sea corals. They look like a cluster of corals in the ocean. It's really beautiful. So pretty. I'm running out of places to put them to dry. Okay, so going back to this one, I think I'd like to create more of these smaller floral shapes so that I can cut it out individually and put it on a canvas. So we're gonna go with a simpler design. So I'm gonna, wait, I can use my fluorescent heavy body, fluorescent heavy body pink, and put some right here and right here. Get off that nasty little crusty bit. There we go. And maybe a little bit of this fluorescent or luminous green. And the olive green. A little bit of the nickel azo yellow. Okay, maybe I'm making this bigger than intended, but that's okay. Let's put some orange in the center. All right, let's go. Okay, that turned out huge, but that could look really pretty collaged onto this canvas. It's quite a nice shape. I might actually do that. And this is how the other one turned out. So they're like mirror images. Okay, I'm gonna stop experimenting for now because I could seriously do this forever. I'm gonna let all these experiments dry, and then I'm gonna pick one to glue onto this. Well, we'll get started with the canvas, and then one of these will be the focal image on the canvas. All right, so I've let them dry, and they're looking great. I haven't looked at them yet. I've just collected them in a pile. So pretty. I really like this one. It's simple and elegant. Love the reticulated pattern here and here. This one is great. This really feels like a leaf when you put your finger over it, like the veins in a leaf. Very cool. I love how the blue kind of shoots out like that. It's really neat. Very cool. I love these results. And I think I might do a series of this type of work on these little canvases if it turns out well and I enjoy the process. But I think this is going to be the first one to go on there. Something like that. Now I'm trying to think of what sort of colors and marks would go well with this, like underneath. So, well, not this, what would go well underneath of this? And so I'm thinking a darker color, maybe like Payne's gray, mixed with a little bit of white and maybe some blues and greens. That might look really nice. But in the end, I'm going to be experimenting to find out what I like, and I'll take you along on that journey. So first, let's open up this canvas. I'll use my little bamboo skewer. There we go. Maybe poke another hole. So I just got these canvases off of Amazon. I believe they're the Arteza ones, like I said earlier. And they've been like a really nice quality for affordable little canvases. And they came in a pack of 12, I think. I got them quite a while ago. Alright, and that's what it looks like. So here's some colors that I'm thinking might look good in the background. I really think this Payne's gray might be nice. It's a little dusty, but yeah, okay. So, I think you can see it in view, this piece of palette paper. I'm going to use it, I guess the other side, to mix my colors. And I suppose we'll start with this Payne's gray. A little bit of that. And I'd like to put some white down. So I bought one of those tube roller things that rolls the paint all the way out. And here's a tip, get a toothpaste roller. Don't get the actual one that's made for artists, because the one that's made for artists is apparently much more expensive. But if you get the one made for toothpaste, it was only like $15 on Amazon. But I haven't put it together yet, so that's why I'm still struggling with this paint tube. Oh, did I get some paint? There we go. Okay. So I'm going to squirt some of this on there, light blue violet. I think that color will look really nice with the reticulated pattern. I want to squirt some of this light pink. And maybe a touch of this bright aqua green. Now I have to admit, I'm not exactly sure where I'm going with this. It's all a bit of an experiment. That's the fun part, figuring things out for yourself and practice and all that good stuff. So I'm cleaning my brush off and, oh, sorry, you can probably hear my fridge. I'm in the dining room. That's where my art studio is, so Yeah, you can hear stuff like the fridge, unfortunately. Okay, so I'm just gonna take some Payne's Gray, brush it down here. I'm trying to get a bit of the sides in. And I may have to do more than one layer of paint. I'm going to take a little bit of white, dip my brush in the water, and I'm going to mix on the canvas. So I'm going a bit more subtle on the background so that the colorful reticulated pattern shows up really nicely. At least that's the idea. So it pops against it. So I think now I'm gonna go into the pink, put a bunch of that down. I'm just letting the colors kind of blend together in areas, doing a little mixing and matching. Now I feel like adding a bit of blue, so that can go over here. And I'm letting the color that's already on my brush kind of mix in. Just getting the sides, but I'm not getting them fully because when I'm finished the piece, I'll probably end up doing the sides off of camera, just because they're not necessary to really show. So now let's see how this looks against this. So it definitely pops. But I feel like we need to have a bit of that bright pink. Where did I put it? Ah, there it is. I feel like we need a bit of this bright pink to kind of tie into the back, to the reticulated pattern. I'm gonna wash my brush. There we go. I'm just gonna put the pink where I already have some of the pink. I'm doing a bit of blending a little bit. Just bringing the color into the piece to liven it up a little. And I think I'll add more pink right here, with the lighter pink. I'll just fill up this area because I'm gonna paste the reticulated floral onto here. So it doesn't really matter what's painted in the center. So I'm kind of just going with my gut. And then I think I would like to add this color too. It's Pale Lime by Holbein acrylic wash. And just see what that looks like. Oh yeah, that looks really nice. That color is surprisingly bright. It doesn't look very bright, it looks very pale, but it's actually really bright against these colors. Just cleaning my brush off again, and I think that's a good amount of colors. I did kind of want to add this bright green, but I'm not going to, I don't think. All right, let's cut this out and see what it looks like over top. All right, so I've cut out the piece. I used my Tim Holtz scissors by Tonic Studios, and this is what they look like. And they have a little safety guard. And they're great for fussy cutting small shapes and collage bits. So basically, this is what it would look like. Oh, this is kind of what it would look like right here. I think I need more darks, definitely. It's a little too colorful. I like this yellow here. It's greeny yellow. Yeah. So I'm going to reduce the amount of pink and add in more darks. I'm going to do a bit of dry brushing. I'm going to change colors and add some white in there. I don't worry too much about getting my brush totally clean, at least not for this type of painting. Get a little wet. Oh, it's very pink now, but that's okay. All right, so I kind of wanted to, maybe I'll mix on my palette paper. Just trying to knock the pink back because there's so much color in here. But now I'm thinking, what am I going to do with this area? I don't want to add any more of that Payne's gray, so maybe I'll subdue it with the light pink and maybe mix that with the blue a bit. Makes a really nice muted purple. Okay, now let's see what this looks like. Yes, I think that looks a lot better. Now, where should it be positioned? That's the question. Should it be like that? I like it like that. Kind of looks like an opened flower with 5 petals. Very cool. Okay. All right, so I've glued the reticulated pieces onto the canvases with matte gel medium. They look like that. The reticulated pattern has been a little bit flattened down by the matte medium, so that's just something to know if you're going to do the same process. So, but it still looks reticulated, just when you touch it, it's a lot smoother and not as like bumpy. All right, so now we're going to add some details. Now this is all experimentation. I'm not sure how it's going to turn out, but I have some ideas of how I want to detail these canvases. All right, so you see I've done a circle here. So the idea is to do little scales, as if it's some sort of flower maybe. All right, so now that I've drawn this kind of circular flower, I'm going to add a little base to it. The stem, there we go. And I guess I should draw the side too. That. So that looks pretty neat. So now I have an idea for the other canvas. I was thinking of doing a triangular abstract design. And I want to use this color, this gray, slate gray, Posca, but I'm not sure how well this tip will work on the canvas surface, or if it'll skip, or I'm just not sure. So best way to find out is to try. I could try on the back actually. Okay, it works pretty well. So I'm simply going to make some triangles that all interconnect. And I might make them go behind this structure. So I think now I'm going to add some more paint to the piece. Sorry if you can hear the noise in the background. We're cooking dinner. So anyway, I'm gonna add some of this magenta, I think. All right, so I added some white next to the magenta here. I'm just gonna mix them and see what color I get. Kind of a nice soft purpley pink color. And I wanna add some mark making. I think this would look really nice on the dark areas. So maybe starting here. Now I want to go around the sides, but I haven't painted them, but I can always paint around the mark making. So yeah, I think that looks nice. Bring it down a bit, and now I'm going to see if I can add that same color to the blue piece. And I think it would look really nice against the blue color. So perhaps I want to add a different mark, maybe some long lines. Sorry for the delayed response. I think now we're going to go into speed, and I'm going to finish off these pieces. guys, you've reached the end of my video. I hope you enjoyed it for those that stuck to the end. And here's the two finished pieces. I've varnished the front of them. And this is how they look. And I'm just so in love with these pieces. I had no idea when I was doing those little reticulated patterns that something cool like this would happen, but I'm very happy with them, and I hope you love them too. And definitely give this a try and tag me if you do. I'd love to see your results. Anyway, thank you so much for watching my video. If you liked it, I'd love a like on the video. And if you want to see more of my videos in your sub box, make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell and then hit all, and you'll get all of my videos in your sub box. And oh yeah, leave me a comment if you have any questions or comments. I'd love to hear them, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.